Right, hi everyone. So we'll be flying from Coimbatore to Chennai with this Q400, a beautiful aircraft. So we can see that the fuel is being loaded up, followed by the packs will be also be loaded. Let's go ahead and start the aircraft and do the prep work. Okay, we turn on the battery master, followed by external power and the remaining batteries. And then we'll put the windshield heat to normal. Paid out pilot side window heat to on, and then the position lights, which is nav lights, to on, emergency lights to arm, no smoking, a rec fan, and then put it to normal, AC external power on, and then some lights. And we'll put the spoilers to taxi and see what this is, anti-skid to on. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and do the checklist. Okay, rec fan is on, external check is complete, alternate gear doors and landing gear inhibit switch closed and normal. Let's check that. Yeah, this is the one, so it's closed and it's normal. Flight deck preparation is going on, briefing should be um, done, and then we have the before start checklist. So let's power on the aircraft completely. I will turn on some displays. Turn on the FMC, put this to FMS1 and the other one to FMS2, likewise on the other side. We'll reduce the range and we'll turn on the displays for the pilot side and for the first officer side. Okay, we'll turn on the radio panel and followed by the ECAS display. Put, even though the weather radar is not functional, we'll just put it on the standby. Okay, let's wait for all displays to come up. Meanwhile, we'll complete the FMS part. Everything looking good on the top, and we'll go back to the FMS. Okay, so we'll do the programming on the left side, and then we'll just transfer it to the right side. So we'll start with the fuel part, and today's zero fuel weight will be 23,43,8. So we'll key that in 23,43,8. And then the fuel on board for today is 3,077. Okay, 3,077. So now we'll go to the flight plan page where we depart at VOCB, and based on the weather we'll take runway 05 from VOCB. Let's select that and go to list. Oops, sorry. Select VOCB and to menu, depart. Runway 05 is option 1. So select 1 and hit enter. I will not use any SID. I will directly fly to the next waypoint. So we'll just leave it as it is. Go to the flight plan. Or let's have a look at the SIDs available. VOCB. MESAT 1 and 2 departures. What are these? Okay, they are heading towards Madurai. So we'll close this. Kerda and Ledat 1 and 2 departures. And these are heading towards Cochin and down south. So we'll not take any of these sits. Okay, we'll go back, we'll close this for now. So we'll directly key in the next waypoint and let's have a look at the waypoint. Charts. Next waypoint is Sapam, so we'll put that in the FMC as APUM, enter, and followed by we have airway of W114. So we go to the list and then we select airways and then we select W114, which is option 2, and then that will take us to NOPS. NOPS is option 4, so we'll put that in, and from there we'll take the Butla star to runway 25 in Chennai. So let's have a look at the charts and charts for Chennai Airport. Search VOMM. We'll take the Butla RNAV arrival for runway 25. So we reach NOPS. We have W114 and then um, track Butla M513, M505, and MM510, and we'll join the base and to final for runway 25. Okay, so we'll have this aside and we'll go back to the flight plan, and then we go to the menu, arrive, and then we select Chennai Airport, which is VOMM, enter, and then we have to take runway 25, which is option 3, and then it's going to be Butla star, so I'll select option 2. Transition will be NOPS, again option 1, and then we will take the ILS approach due to the low visibility, so that is option 2. Uh, the other transition would be, I don't think we need any of these transitions, so we'll just leave it as it is and go back to the primary flight plan. So from VOCB we track direct Sapam and then Adkal, Nobs, Butla, and then MM505, 501. Then we'll close this gap, followed by we'll take the base and to final for runway 25. Okay, looking good to me. And let's fill the same information by just click of a button. Yes, we have to do master exfill, which is master crossfill, and then from FMS1, yes, and then it's done. There's no other additional work needed. So our today's flight level will be 230. For some reason it says 220. Okay, that is for the alternate airport. Okay. Where is it? Okay. Flight level steps from EOCB, it's 230. So what we'll do is um, if you can see here on the left, it's currently set to 5,000. We'll set that to 23,000. And then before we choose the nav source, we will preset the ILS for both runways in Chennai, so that just in case if we have to switch at the last moment, then it won't be a problem. So for nav source, which is ILS1, the course should be 251, which is the actual heading of Chennai runway. So we'll go back to airports, and then in VOMM we select the approach and then ILS25. So we can see the heading is 251. So we set 251 here in ILS1, and the alternate runway would be ILS07. So we'll select nav source 2, which is ILS2, and set this to the opposite direction, which will be heading 071. We'll quickly have a look at the nav 1 and 2 at the first officer side. Even though it's not mandatory, we'll just set it just in case. So this is ILS2, which we planned for runway 7. So we'll set it to 071. And then ILS1 would be runway 25, which is 251. And then we'll put the nav source on both the sides to FMS1. So we just, okay, it is FMS1 showing SAPM, which is approximately 64 nautical miles from here. And then we'll put the first officer side nav source to FMS1. And I think, okay, so now we select the altitude. Instead of pitch hold, we'll have a speed hold today. And then we'll do nav track, which is nothing but the LNAV. Okay, I think the loading is complete. Let's quickly have a look. Okay, load confirmed. It's still loading. GPU is connected. Everything looks good. So we'll go back to the checklist. Flight deck preparation is complete. Briefing is self. So we'll mark that as complete. So before start, we'll have a look at the circuit breakers. I wonder where the circuit breakers are. Okay, they're here. Looking good on the pilot side and looking good on the first officer side. Passenger sign, we'll put it to on. Emergency lights are armed, anti-skid is on, fuel transfer is off, emergency brake pressure is on. I don't know where that is, but I think it should be on by default. Power levers are disconnected, condition levers are fuel off, takeoff data will be reviewed, so we'll just mark it as reviewed for now. And we'll start the APU. APU power is on, and then we start it. While this is happening, we'll just quickly have a look at what's there on the passenger side. Okay, temperature is quite high. We'll set that to 22 degrees and turn off the lights. We don't need any of these. Doors are closed. Looking good. Okay. Doors, fueling lights. Door lights and fuel lights, I don't think they are on. So we just... Okay, even before that, the battery master or main, everything is on. Doors and fuel lights are off. APU bleed should be off. Okay, it is off. Anti-collision, we'll turn it on when we start the pushback and engines are clear for start. So let's check. Okay, we have the gen on. and we can remove the external power. Okay, the generator from the APU is on now. So we'll quickly, we'll disconnect the GPU, and then we can ask the pushback team to be prepared. Okay, even before that, we have to find out which side is runway 05. Okay. VOCB airport. Okay, runway 05 is here, so we have to face our left and the tail should be on the right side. So we'll take a wide turn so that we can take the immediate left if needed.
All right, Captain, got the directions. Let me know through the menu when you're ready.
Okay, we are actually ready, so we can start.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
Thank you.
All right. Looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
Okay, thank you.
We got that winching strap and adapter hooked up. Go ahead and let go of the parking brake when you're ready for a push.
Sure. Parking brake released. So you can see the aircraft moving a little towards the front, which is they're trying to attach the front landing gear to the tow truck. We should be
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
okay, thanks. So we start engine 1 first and followed by engine 2. For that we'll set the beacon lights to on, and then engine selector to 1, and then the starter. So we can see this has already reached 26, so we'll set that to starter, and we'll wait. We'll be able to see the engine starting from here. Okay, engine 1 initial start is complete, so we can go to engine number 2. So select engine 2 and then start. N1 rising, so we again set this to start position. I guess engine 2 has also started, so what we can do is we can set this to a minimum of 850 RPM.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
Sure. Parking brake set.
And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
Anti-collision is on. Thank you. External power is off. Main bus tie should be off. Oh, we can turn off the APU now. That is off. Then pre-dot static standby 1 and 2 are on.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the right. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
Sure. Main bus tie is off. Bleed air 1 and 2 are on. Battery trims are checked. Condition levers set to max. Okay. Okay, let's send them. Cool. Thanks, bye. Standby hydraulic pressure and PDU control. Standby hydraulic pressure and PDU control are on, and the value is rising, so that is on. Checked. Isolation valve is open. Elevator travel should be full. Let's check that. Okay, checked. Isolation valve 3 is normal. Flaps for today will be flaps 5. De-ice pressure not needed. Rudder travel should be full. Okay, that is full. Steering switch should be set to steering, which is right here. We set that to steering. Windshield heat and pilot side window heat as required. I just put it to on. Flight to taxi. Yep, that is already set to taxi. Radar, navigation or comms are already set. These displays should be checked and your damper should be on. Your damper is on. Okay, the primary flight display, the pressure today is 1013. So we'll select that bara units hectopascals, and then we'll set 1013 from here, which right now 1018. 1013, that is set. Taxi checklist, taxi light should be on. Altimeter set, flight instruments checked. Auxiliary pump 1 and 2 should be on. I'll turn them on. Auto feather should be set to select. Flaps 5 set. Trim set. Take off warning test. Where is that? Event. I think I have to find that one, so we'll just skip that for now. Condition lever set to max. Period static heat is on. Ice protection not needed. Caution warning lights are off. Flight clearance reviewed. Cabin is secured, and the next checklist will be for lineup. Okay, so we can do the taxi. Parking brake released, and a little pressure on the throttle. So we'll take the next left instead of this one because we have to do a backtrack in the runway. It's better we join the runway late. side is clear. This side is also clear. So meanwhile we'll have we'll use the automatic option for these V speeds. So we just have to click here. Rotate speed will be 126 and V2 is 129. Cool. So we will hold 129 plus 15, 144. So that'll be our climb speed today. Parking brake set, we'll quickly check the lineup and then we'll take off. Cabin crew notification, okay, I'll let them know. Bleed air 1 and 2 are off for takeoff. Off. Anti-collision is white. That is set. Transponder and TCAS to... Okay, this is not the right time, but... Okay, and then we'll turn on the landing lights. That is on. Flight controls. Check-in free. Flight taxi is already set to flight. Landing and taxi lights on and off. Okay, next one will be after takeoff, which we can worry about later. Okay, control lock is released. It's 80 knots. V1 rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Autopilot is on. We'll set the flaps up. And we'll set the speed to 180. Then we'll climb with 180 till 10,000 and then we'll increase it after we cross 10,000. Taxi lights can be turned off and set the condition lever to 900. Then we can turn on the air conditioning unit. So we'll go back to the checklist. Landing gear is up, flaps up, climb power set. Bleed air 1 and 2 are on. Standby hydraulic pressure and PTU control are off. Tank aux pump 1 and 2 should be off and auto feather should be off. Aux pumps are off and auto feather is off. Engine temps and pressures are checked. Ice protection not required. Cabin pressure and temperature controls are checked. Passenger sign as required. So next is cruise. As we are nearing 10,000 feet, we'll set the speed to 220 for climb. So we might have to level off, then gain some speed and then starts to climb. Fasten seatbelt signs are off, and once we hit 10,000 feet, we'll turn off the landing lights. Crossing 10,000, landing lights are off. So once we are at the cruise altitude, we'll start to plan for the VNAV. Until then, we just have to wait. Looks like the aircraft is struggling to climb with the weight and the speed and the thrust. Maybe we can reduce some speed to climb quickly, but there's no need, so let's climb slowly. So once we hit the flight level 230, we'll proceed with planning the VNAV to start our descent and do the approach. So let's check the charts and see the required altitude to start or to connect with the ILS is 1800 feet, which is at where? FI25. Okay. Okay, at F525 we have to be at 1800. And what is the previous waypoint? F525 is right here. Doesn't make sense. 3000, 1800, and then boom. Okay. 2300 at CI25. Okay. Hey, let's set 2300 then. Should be 2300 and FI should be 1800 and the runway at 104. So what is the landing elevation for runway 25? Touchdown at 50, runway 54. Okay. So landing altitude can remain the same. Just set that to 50. Perfect. Okay, we are struggling. Let's reduce some speed. Put that to 210 knots. Thousand to go. Altimeter is set and power should be set to 850. We'll do that once we hit the flight level 230. Cabin pressure is checked and lights as required. Okay. Okay, finally we are here at 230, so we can actually reduce the power to 850. And then right now it's set to MCR, which is max cruise range. So we can complete the checklist. Power is set, cabin pressure checked, lights are checked. To start the descent, we have to do the VNAV calculation. So we'll do that right now. The VNAV, but target vertical speed is 1800. So we can start the descent in 16 minutes, which is in 89 nautical miles. So we can see here somewhere over Butla is where we have to start our descent. It says Butla followed by it says TOD and 23010. I don't know what that means. Meanwhile, we can check the weather in Chennai right now to see if runway 25 is still valid. Okay, the meter reads 28 3 Zulu and the winds is 140 at 06. Visibility 3000. Scattered clouds at 2000. Again, scattered clouds at 10,000 feet. Temperature is 32, dew point 28, QNH 1011, and no significant change. So our initial descent will be to 2,300 feet, and if required, we can further descend to 1,800 at the waypoint F525. And I can see that the runway 25 is still active in Chennai Airport, so we'll continue with the same plan. Since this aircraft usually performs a steep descent, we'll let the passengers know that we are going to start the descent shortly, so we'll turn on the fasten seatbelt signs. Range is 40, and we'll set from flight level 230 to 2,300 feet. Then we hit the altitude select, and when we are approximately 15 or 20 nautical miles, we'll get a notification saying that we are in the VNAV range, and that's when we hit the VNAV button. Till then, we just leave it as it is. And now that we are about to descend, we can actually set the approach speed and reference speeds, which will be 141 and 121. So this is something pilots do manually based on the aircraft gross weight, and by looking at the chart, we can do that in the simulator as well, but the FlyJsim has given a simple option by just clicking on the display right here, which will automatically calculate the speed and set it. That makes life easy, but it's not realistic. So just for this flight, I'll go with the easy option. So let's review the descent checklist. Altimeters, okay. Approach and landing briefing, that's reviewed. Cabin altitude controls are set. Ice protection as required, okay. Approaches, altimeters, lights, GPWS landing flaps selected to 15 today. Fuel transfer is off, which is off already. Tank aux pump 1 and 2 should be on, okay. Standby hydraulic pressure and PTU control should be on, okay. Hydraulic pressure and quantity will be checked. Passenger signs are already on. Caution or warning lights, okay, we'll check that, and cabin should be secured, okay. So we are approximately 20 nautical miles to descend, and we can expect the VNAV alert anytime now. That's when we hit the VNAV button. Okay, we are heading to our last waypoint, Butla. So here we can see the KKP, which is Kanchipuram VOR station. Okay, our overhead is looking good. We'll just leave that. As we near the top of descent, we can expect the alert anytime now. I'm just waiting for the alert. Okay, there it is. So we have a message, and then we can see the V representation or the vertical path representation. So we go to the message, it says top of descent alert, return, and then we press the VNAV button. So the altitude is selected, and we will follow the VNAV path. Meanwhile, we'll try to check for the minimums for runway 25, which is 306. 300 should be fine. So we go in here, and then decision height is 300. 306, so we can set that at 305. Okay, we have the waypoint alert. So throughout the VNAV path on the descent, we have to control the throttle manually and then try to maintain the speed that we want. So we'll try to hold 220 or 230, somewhere between 230 and 220. So VNAV path is active and the aircraft has started to slowly descend. So I'm adjusting the throttles to maintain 230, if not 220. So this is what I was referring to. The aircraft will do a steep descent if we are a bit fast. So we either have to reduce the speed or just go with the flow. I'm trying to hold 230, but let's try for 220. Okay, the Kanchipuram VOR is on our right, but we will not be able to see it due to the clouds. Okay, we are holding 220s. We'll try to maintain that. we can see here we have to go straight and make a U-turn towards the right, and then we have the VOMM, which is Chennai Airport, on our right side. So while we are descending, we'll set the nav1 and nav2 frequencies to match ILS 07 and 25, where 25 being our primary target. So the frequency for ILS 25 is 109.7, so we'll put that in the nav1. 109.7. And I think for ILS 7, or if I remember correctly, it's 110.3. Oops. Approach ILS 07. Yep, 110.3. So we'll put that in here. 110.300, and we'll leave it as standby. Okay, we are there to cross 10,000 feet, where we'll turn on the landing lights. Altimeters, let's quickly check the weather. Conditions at Chennai is 1406 knots, visibility 4000, hazy conditions, scattered clouds are 2000, scattered clouds are 10,000. Temperature is 32, QNH 1011, and the visibility is becoming 5000 from 4000, so that is good. QNH 1011. QNH 1011 set. Cross-check that on first office side, and we'll set it here on the standby instrument. Okay, I missed the landing light switch is to be turned on, which I just did. Altimeter set, lights are turned on, landing flap is 15, which is set, fuel transfer is off, aux tank 1 and 2 are on, PDU and hydraulic, standby hydraulics are also on, pressure and quantity checked, passenger signs are on, caution warning lights are checked, and cabin is secure. Landing gear 3 down, 3 green, flaps 15, condition lever 1020 bleeds are off, FA notification as required. Okay. So we are still maintaining prop RPM at 850. We'll increase that to 1020 once we are lined up with the runway. And we have a message in our FMC. Let's check that. Vertical waypoint alert. Thank you. So we'll try to hold 180. We'll have the heading set to 251 because we have to change the nav source and the LNAV will get disconnected when we do that. So we do a preset to 251 and we'll change it to heading hold. And now I think it's good to set 180 and we can actually set it to 10 nautical miles radius. So did we miss any speed restrictions on the star? Okay, we are under the required speed, which is 210. That's fine. Thousand to go. We are trying to maintain 170. And once we turn right and line up with the runway, we'll change the nav source to nav 1, which is ILS 1. and then we'll put the localizer hold, or we'll activate the localizer. Okay, we're turning now, so we have to be careful with the speed, and we'll put the nav source to this, and we'll select flaps 5. Okay, glide slope alive, so we'll select approach hold, and we'll try to reduce the speed. So we are lining up with the localizer, and we should be good to do the gear down. Gear down, flaps 10. And we can set the props to 1200, which is max RPM. And set the bleeds to off. We don't need the bleeds to be taking more power from the engines. So we are on the glide slope, and we can reduce the speed to 140, then set the flaps to 15. Flaps 15. So that'll be our landing checklist. Down 3 green. So we'll try to vacate via delta as much as possible. If not, we have to go with Mike, which is almost towards the other side of the runway. So we'll try to do it with, we'll try to exit via delta.
$500.
500 feet and still no visibility of runway.
Terrain. Minimums.
A landing. Okay, I wasn't expecting that, but fine. We might have to take the mic exit. So we'll try to quickly exit from the runway and leave way for the next traffic. Okay, we can set the transponder to standby, and then strobe lights are off. So let's see if it allows us to take left here. If not, we have to take a right and then connect on the taxiway, which is in between the international and domestic terminal. Okay, whatever you see on the right is the international terminal, and here on the left is the domestic terminal. So we'll take left and we have to park at the ramp. Taxi lights are off. Prop set to start position. Control lock is set. Transponder to standby. Radar to standby. Flaps up. Aux tanks are off. Yaw damper is off. Spoiler flight or taxi is set to taxi. Anti-collision is set to red, and now we have to turn it off. Lights are turned off. Pitot static switches are off. Windshield heat will remain normal. Window heat is off. Ice protection switches are off. Main bus tie to die. So we'll turn the external power and then put the main bus die. APU not needed, bleed air 1 and 2 are not needed either. Shutdown checklist is taxi lights off, emergency brakes are on, which is nothing but the parking brakes. Standby hydraulic pressure and PTU control is normal. Power levers are disconnected. Not yet. Now it's disconnected. Oh, the power levers are disconnected. Okay. Condition levers are should be set to start or feather, but I just turned it off. Passenger sign is off. Nose wheel steering is off. Radar is off. Anti-skid is per requirement. Bleed air is off. APU off. Emergency lights are armed. Condition levers are set to fuel off. Lights as required. Batteries are required. Okay, we'll unload the plane and we should be good to go. See you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.